I don't think it's time to panic, but the numbers don't look good. Does not look good.
Don't panic, you rookies that don't manage. You look at all the candles, it's a ride and we off the handles. It's the heat cause we bringing all the kitchens out. Oven mitts for little kids, what you bitching about? Pockets when they tingling, money stay mingling. I'm just getting started, yeah, I'm trying to get the swing of things. You love the green, but you hate the red. It's like you love the sex, but you hate the head. There's no difference, I finish all of your dinners. That mean I'm taking your places, don't think that you are beginners. You miss me, rinse and repeat. It's Rich TV, you miss me, I'm the one, Jet Li. It's time that we get popping now. I ain't never stopping now. You would think I'm floating in the open way. I cop a cloud. You should even shop around. You should buy a pair of boots. Hate it, it's my stomping ground. This is how the market goes. It's round and round we go. Where it stops, we just don't know. Don't panic, don't panic. Why you stand to call your door? Just sit back and watch the show. Pray that you'll just strike some gold. Don't panic, don't panic. Market makers are heartbreakers, the soft stages. Bring the heat with Kenny just like it's Las Vegas. You hard haters are all fakers. I mob like, don't call you on another song. I don't pause, baby. I don't panic, I just mix it up like Shaka Khan. You stay tripping on the sides like a soccer mom. And when it's gone, I transform like Decepticon. I can tell your whole future looking at the devil's palm. You're too weak, bro. Cause you looking at a 52-week low. These are opportunities to seize, yo.
This is,
I don't cheat, I just move when I cruise to the cheat code. Put the limit in, stop it if you have to. This is mathematics for addicts to latch to. Rich TV live, he a swell guy. He'll teach you how to buy low and to sell high. Yeah, I get money cause it's all sweet. You looking at the real wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I get money cause it's all sweet. You looking at the real wolf of Wall Street. This is how the market goes. It's round and round we go. Where we stop, we just don't know. Don't panic, don't panic. Why you spend up all your dough? Just sit back and watch the show. Pray that you'll just strike some gold. Don't panic, don't panic. Something has to be done about this. Mr. Attorney, this is what I pay you for. What can I do? Litigation it is. Get the wheels in motion. Quickly. ASAP. Quick.
So there's reports. The new reports now is the death toll has climbed above 130 and the number of infections jumps as well. So it's interesting that these numbers just continue to grow, yet we'll still don't want to take any real look at this and consider this anything that's worth their time. As the outbreak of the mysterious new coronavirus rapidly spreads, the Chinese authorities said on Wednesday that the official count of known cases jumped again overnight, with the death toll now exceeding 130. China said on Wednesday that 132 people had died from the virus, which is believed to have originated in the central city of Wuhan and is spreading across the country. The previous count on Tuesday was 106. So 30 people, 26 people passed away in 24 hours. The number of confirmed cases increased from 4,500 to 5,174 on Wednesday, up from 4,515 on Tuesday, according to the National Health Commission. These numbers are staggering. And there have been some reports that the numbers are bigger. There have been videos circulating, which we talked about yesterday, talking about how it could be 90,000, not the reported almost 6,000. But we're noticing this trend that this number continues to go up on a daily. Most of the confirmed cases have been in the central Chinese province of Hubei, where several cities, including Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak, have been placed under what amounts to a lockdown. A lockdown. They can't travel. Thailand has reported 14 cases of infection. Hong Kong has reported 8. The United States, Taiwan, Australia, and Macau have 5 each. Singapore, South Korea, and Malaysia each have reported 4. Japan has 7. France has 4. Canada has 3. Vietnam has 2. And Nepal, Cambodia, and Germany each have 1. There have been no deaths outside China. So far, it doesn't look like it has really caused too much damage outside of China, but it is causing deaths inside of China. The United States is going to be expanding screenings for coronavirus at airports and borders. There's a statement here that says Americans should know that this is a potentially very serious public health threat, but at this point, Americans should not worry for their own safety, said Alex M. Azar, Secretary of Health and Human Services, second from left at a news briefing in Washington. This is a very fast-moving, constantly changing situation. The United States is expanding the screening of travelers arriving from Wuhan to 20 airports and land crossings from 5 airports, federal officials said on Tuesday. Right now, there is no spread of this virus in our communities at home, said Robert Redfield, director of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, at a news briefing in Washington. The coming days and weeks are likely to bring more cases, including the possibility of person-to-person spread, he said. Our goal is to contain the virus and prevent sustained spread of the virus in our community. A plane carrying Americans is leaving from Wuhan. If you know anyone on board or anyone trying to leave Wuhan, we would like to hear from you for a coming article. Officials also announced that after repeated offers of assistance, Chinese authorities agreed on Tuesday to allow in teams of international experts coordinated by the World Health Organization to help with the research and containment. Scientists are racing to make a coronavirus vaccine. Scientists in the United States, Australia, and at least 3 other companies are working on vaccine candidates to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Government scientists, as well as those working at Johnson & Johnson, Moderna Therapeutics, and Innovo Pharmaceuticals, are all working quickly to develop a vaccine. The hunt began January 10th when Chinese scientists posted the generic makeup of the virus on a public database. The next morning, researchers at the National Institute of Health Vaccine Research Center in Maryland went to work. Within hours, they had pinpointed the letters of the genetic code that could be used to make a vaccine. Historically, vaccines have been one of the greatest public health tools to prevent disease. But even as technology, genomics, and global coordination have improved, allowing research to move at top speed, vaccine development remains an expensive and risky process. How is the coronavirus affecting earnings season? The number of infections and deaths related to the outbreak of a mysterious virus in China keeps rising, but economic analysts have counseled caution, saying it's too soon to ring alarms about the impact on the global economy. Even so, individually, some American companies with a sizable presence in China are feeling the strain. Starbucks, for example, announced on Tuesday that it was temporarily shuttering half of its locations there in China. Wow. This is the New York Times where we're reporting this from. The magnitude of the impact will depend on the duration of store closures as we work with local authorities to manage the situation and protect our partners and customers, says Pat Grismer, Chief Financial Officer, said during an earnings call. Other companies that closed stores There include McDonald's and Yum China. So I would be really looking at those stocks because they're most likely going to be going down based on this news, losing revenue. The country's largest restaurant company, which operates the KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell brands in China, and also controls its own brands. Yum China, that's a big loss. Travel restrictions in China and screening at airports in other countries have also disrupted plans. United Airlines announced today that it was suspending some flights. American Airlines stock fell more than 5% on Tuesday. Hotels and resorts with properties in infected areas, which include Macau, a special administrative region, and gambling mecca like Wynn Resorts, Las Vegas Sands, and MGM Resorts International, also saw the value of their shares sink. We have to be very careful in times like this. Marriott, Hyatt, and Hilton, which have several properties in China, also saw their stocks prices slide. That is from the New York Times. Now, looking at BBC News. So apparently, Australian scientists are the first to recreate viruses outside China. The new coronavirus has grown outside China for the first time. Scientists in Australia have become the first to recreate the new coronavirus outside of China in what they have called a significant breakthrough. The discovery will be shared with the World Health Organization, the WHO, in the hope that it may help efforts to diagnose and treat the virus. Scientists in China have also recreated the virus and shared its genome sequence, but not the virus itself. The outbreak has killed 132 people in China and infected close to 6,000. There are at least 47 confirmed in 16 other countries, including Thailand, France, the United States, and Australia, Canada as well. No deaths have been reported outside of China. That's interesting. What do you guys think about this news? These numbers just keep growing. What do you guys think about this? You know, we've been doing this every day, right? And people have been coming on here saying it's no big deal. And every day the numbers get bigger. What do you guys think about this? Please, guys, if you're here, smash the like button. Let this go viral. We're live. We're interactive. I'd love to get you guys involved in the show. I want to know your opinions, guys. This is, you know, the stock market did well today, but at the end of the day, the numbers are just growing, right? So will the stock market do well tomorrow? We are not guaranteed tomorrow. Pete Ferraro says it will get worse. Well, it's getting worse every day. It's getting worse every day. I know a lot of people that are getting prepared. My son today told me that there was an Asian girl who actually sits right beside him in class, and she was wearing a mask and gloves during class all day. So this is our world now in 2020. This is the way my children have to go to school. It's never in history has it ever been like this. And it's just, I think we need to take it very serious because people are dying and the number of infected keeps growing. And as long as the number of infected keeps growing and people continue to die, that's not going to be okay. Not that any other disease or illness that was killing people would be okay, right? I think we've learned that human life is very, very precious and we live every day like it's our last because we never know when our next day will be and when our last day will be. So one thing is guaranteed is that we're all going to go at some point. The question is, what are we going to do while we're here? You know, I find it sad that my kids have to go to school and wear masks. You know, I take it very seriously when my son tells me that the girl sitting beside him in class is wearing a mask and gloves. It's 2020 is just, it's a different world. And I think there's been movies about stuff like this. There's a Sylvester Stallone movie that talks about like stuff like this, like futuristic stuff. And it's just weird. Like you can't even touch each other because you could get a disease. So people can't even touch, you know, that's the type of world that I never wanted to imagine for my children and for my grandchildren and great grandchildren. So um, I just think it's sad, and I hope that we find a cure and we can move on and go back to normalcy. You know what? I heard about the 7 earthquake. Are you talking about the one in the Cayman Islands? I got family in the Cayman Islands, and they're showing me videos of the earthquake in the Cayman Islands. But I know that there's like stuff happening all over the world, Turkey, and it's like every day I see just the news is just so much, so much to digest. Resident Evil. Is that the Sylvester Stallone movie? Where you can't even like touch each other, and when you're in a relationship you have to do it through virtual reality because you can't even touch each other because like everybody could either get a disease or infect another person. It's like they put these movies out there and then all of a sudden it just happens. It's weird. Never thought in my lifetime I'd see 60 million people get quarantined. And now the number of death and the amount of sickness and illness and infected just keeps going up. Demolition Man. Yeah, I think it's the Demolition Man. Rocklin Holmes says there are more than that dead and infected, bro. I know. This is what we've been talking about, and I'm saddened about it because the number keeps going up. Have you noticed that? The number just keeps going up. That's the sad part. Dijou says 90,000 infection yesterday in Wuhan. That is the rumor, which is a very, very, very big number of people that are sick. So I can't even imagine the amount that would die. It'll be thousands. Franco says, no need to panic. Only 2 cases here in Toronto. Seeing people with masks making everyone paranoid. Are you guys seeing people with masks in your cities? Because my son today said that the girl sitting beside him, who was an Asian girl, was wearing mask and gloves all day in school today. I have a friend that lives in China, and he's telling me that he wants out and he needs help to get out. Mr. Big says they will find a cure ASAP. I hope you're right, man. Because I know that over there specifically, maybe over here we're okay, but over there, they're definitely suffering. Thank you guys for your 26 likes. I appreciate you guys. It means a lot. It allows this video to get viral so that people can see it and then they can join the conversation. I want to hear what people think about the fact that these numbers just keep going higher. I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody. I'm just reading you guys the news. I just read the news. I don't know why you want to call me a fearmonger. I'm not trying to create fear. I'm just trying to tell you guys the truth. Like, I have kids that go to school, and today the girl sitting beside my son is wearing a mask and gloves. To me, this is something to talk about. You can call it fear mongering, but as a parent, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I think I have a right to be concerned. That's an opinion. That's a feeling. I think that that's a very normal feeling. Maybe we haven't had the same issues that they're having in China, but what if it spreads? Because if 90,000 or even 6,000 people are infected and people are dying, then that's not a good thing. So just because we're in our own bubble here in Canada and we're not infected as badly so far doesn't mean that it can't get worse because it's already happening there. So if it's already happening there, why couldn't it happen over here? That's the way my brain thinks, because why are they isolated over there? Why is it only killing people over there? Buzz Alberdine says it just went over 6,000 infected. I just want to spread the truth. I want to talk about it and see what people think. I want to hear your opinions. You can call me a fearmonger if you choose. And if you feel that way, I apologize. I'm not trying to create fear in anybody. I'm trying to create awareness. I think there's a difference. I believe there's a difference. What is wrong about talking about something that is headlines every single day anyways? People are talking about this anyways. Why don't we just go live with it? Now you guys have a voice. You guys get a chance to be a part of the show. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how you feel. Let me know if you're doing anything about this. Are you taking this serious? Do you think this is real? Do you think this is nothing to be worried about? I really would like to know what your guys' opinions are. You know what? Listen, man. I've heard people say to me that I'm fear mongering. People have said to me that I'm creating fear. I'm not trying to create fear. I'm trying to create awareness. I still go out of my house. I don't wear a mask. I don't wear gloves. I'm not living in fear. I'm not. So I want to make sure everybody understands that I am personally not living in fear. However, I am fearing for my friends and family in Asia, in China, that are dying, that are infected, that are surrounded by people that are infected and that are dying. I'm fearing for them. Now, as far as the rest of the world, so far, apparently, nobody has died from this anywhere else in the world. So far, they've contained it and kept it only in this one region. But why? That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Why did it happen there? And when you go on Twitter, one of the most trending tweets is coronavirus India. If this catches in India, you're now talking about the two biggest population masses in the world. So I don't know what's going on here, but I would not be surprised if the next place that you see that catches this is India, because they have a massive population. They also have a major issue with starvation and people that are living below the poverty line. So disease can spread very quickly in those types of environments. So this is one of the issues. And there's a reason I was concerned when I saw it, because I saw coronavirus India and I was like, oh, why is this trending so much? That really concerned me. Franco says, Rich, you should have a mask on when doing this video. Chinatown here is ghost town, they said in Toronto. Everyone is scared of Asian community. I think everyone's just taking precautions. I think everybody's taking precautions, right? So a lot of people are not. A lot of people just laugh it off and they don't think it's anything. But like a lot of people have been saying, you never take anything serious until it comes knocking on your door, right? Once it comes knocking on your door, says, hey, hello, how about you? You want to get this? Then you take it serious. By then it'll be too late. So hopefully we can try to stay away from it, right? Hopefully we can all stay safe. And hopefully the people in China can get this under control, and this can, we can find a vaccine and we can move on from this. But I think that we should have a platform where we can talk about it, and people should be able to talk about what they feel. And that's good for people to get things off their chest, because it's not good to keep things inside. I've seen an outpouring of people talking about Kobe Bryant and how they feel about him. And there's just an outpouring of emotion and people crying everywhere. Shaquille O'Neal, big man that you've never seen cry before, crying. Tracy McGrady crying, talking about their friend, the world is an interesting place in 2020. It's a very interesting place, right? So, people that are in China right now, they're living in hell. I can't even imagine being there. You're born there. There's nothing you can do. You don't have a choice. Your family's there. And just imagine the horror of living in there. I can't even imagine it. Half of 5 million people evacuated. Whatever is left is in quarantine. The longer this takes, you're going to see issues with starvation. Diseases will spread, and it can get really, really ugly. like really ugly. So I don't wish that upon anybody. And I really hope that things can get better before they get worse. But when I heard that 5 million people evacuated an area that was infected, that leads me to believe that there's a lot of infected people that are not there. And I can't even imagine what the hell's going to happen and how this is going to get like put under control. Hopefully it gets put under control and it gets put under control soon. This is your boy Rich here from Rich TV Live, your Midnight Vampire. Thank you guys for your 45 likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate your guys' support. Thank you guys for joining me every single night, man. Thank you guys for being here. Good times, bad times. You know, it's been a really tough week, and I'm a huge sports fan, and we lost a legend and his daughter and 7 other people, a father who another passenger. Now it just came out that there was another passenger and he had 2 daughters and they were on the flight. He was a school teacher, and it's just sick situation. And, you know, other players and family members, and just a sad state of events. It's tragedy. And what's happening in China, in Wuhan, is a tragedy. And thousands of lives are right now infected, and 132 are dead. So just as important to me as Kobe is, those 132 lives are just as equally as important. And those 6,000 people that are infected are just equally as important. And we need to find a way as humans on this earth to work together to find solutions to these problems. That's what we need to do. And that's what I want to do here, is figure out solutions and work as a community to talk about it. Clever Sausage says it's the elite, man. I don't know who's doing this, man. I don't know who's making these calls. I don't know why these things are happening, but there are people that are living in hell right now. So we may not be living in hell where we are in our countries and our worlds right now, in our bubbles, but there's some people right now, and I'm not just talking about in China, in different parts of the world, that just don't have the same opportunities that we have. And these coronavirus updates, they just keep going up every single day, and we just live in our own bubbles and we don't think it bothers us. But yet there's a girl in my son's class in Vancouver, Canada, very far away from China, and she's wearing a mask and gloves, and she's Asian. And my son asked me today, he says, "Dad, a girl was wearing a mask and gloves." And I was just like, well, that's good. You know, I mean, unfortunately, we're living in a world where this might become the norm. Then I think to myself, well, why would I even want to send my kids to school then? But then what are we going to do? We're going to live in our houses? So what type of world is that? Gail says a lot of conspiracies have been true throughout history. Yeah, a lot of them have. Troll Phobic 216 says, where I'm from, Bob Marley said it best. Who's that cap? Fit it, them, wear it. Yeah, Bob Marley was a genius, man. Genius. And I listened to him speak. It's motivation. It's pure motivation. So one of the crazy things I was watching about Kobe is that one of the crazy things that I noticed about Kobe was that Tracy McGrady said that Kobe told him when he was younger he wanted to die young. He wanted to be immortalized. And I thought to myself when I heard that, I said, you know, that's crazy, because I'm sure when he had kids, that was the last thing on his mind. And he said that, he goes, when he grew older, that was the last thing on his mind. But when he was younger, that was the way he thought. And I thought, you know, it's pretty crazy how your thoughts can dictate your reality. So you have to be very, very careful about what you think about. It's literally like The Secret. If you guys have seen The Secret, the law of attraction, what you think about expands. Whatever you have on your mind, whatever you're thinking about expands. If you're thinking about negative things, it's going to expand. If you're thinking about bills, you're going to get more bills. If you think about making money, you're going to make more money. If you stress about money, you will not make money. What you focus on expands. If you find something that you love, and Kobe said this too, if you find something that you love, do it. Do it at the best of your ability, and eventually you will create success, and you may create an abundance of success and love your life because you'll be doing what you love. And that was the message that Kobe had, and that's the message that I have, and that's why I do this. People can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, I love doing what I do. So I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. If you love doing what you do, it's not work. And unfortunately, we live in a world where a lot of people, they get immortalized when they die young. Bob Marley's a great example of it. Now Kobe Bryant's another example of it. For some reason, when you die young, you become immortal. I don't know why. When you become old, you're just not remembered the same way. Now he'll be remembered in his prime, 5 years after retirement, 41 years old. And there's people just like Kobe and the 9 people that passed away in that tragic helicopter. There's people that are dying in Wuhan, China, that are equally valuable people, that have families, that have children, and it's tragic for them too. So my heart goes out to them and their families too. And for the almost 6,000, or is it now over 6,000 that are infected, my heart goes out to them too. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, man. Kobe to me is, he's just someone that I watched playing, and we're almost the same age, and I just watch him play. So he had kids. I had kids, I have a 12 and 11-year-old. He had a 13-year-old, and she passed away with him. And I can't even imagine what that was like to go through with your daughter. So it's crazy. Like it's not even a movie, right? Movies don't even come like this. Movies are not like this. So I don't even know what to think about that. But I'm saddened for the people in Wuhan, China. And I'm saddened for Kobe and the 9 people aboard the helicopter. And I think that we need to learn from this, and we need to find ways to make the most of every single day and make sure that people around us know that we love them and we care for them, and tell them so you never have any regrets. And do what you love. I have a video that's on my Twitter right now, and I'm putting it out everywhere, and I'm sending it everywhere, and it's Kobe, and it's like he's talking from the afterlife. It's just crazy, and he's talking about do what you love. Just do what you love, and you'll never ever feel like you're working. And I think that that's a great message, and it's a message that I want to have. And if you do what you love, then eventually, you'll usually create a lot of success because you're going to love it, and you're going to find ways to be great at it because you love it. So I think that's a great message. And I think that with what's going on with the coronavirus, it's a very scary situation, and we should treat people, whether it's Kobe or people that are in Wuhan, equally, as far as I'm concerned. And one life is not more valuable than another, in my opinion. So I think that we all have to figure out a way to get past this as brothers and sisters, and as a society, and as humanity, because this is a disease that doesn't care where you're from. Yes, it happened to start in Wuhan, but what happens if it spreads into our communities? I don't believe that this is the type of virus that cares about where you're from. I don't think they care. Gary Anderson says China's biological warfare laboratory is located in Wuhan. That's another coincidence. Clever Sausage says, did they eat the infected animals at the Wuhan market? Yes. That's how they said it started. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. We now have a total of, at last count, 132 killed and close to 6,000. Some people are saying over 6,000 infected with the coronavirus. These are the new numbers. These are the latest numbers. Thank you guys for joining me. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live, your late night vampire. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for 57 likes. 57 likes for 50 people. 57 likes for 57 people here is actually pretty good. Flor de Oro says, rest in peace to the victims of the coronavirus. I agree 100%. As far as I'm concerned, they're just as valuable. They have family, they have friends as those 9 people that had that tragic accident. They have families, they have friends. They could be doctors, lawyers, dentists, teachers. We don't know who are these people. They're faceless people to us because we just read numbers. We're not in those communities living that horror. So I feel for everybody involved in these situations. Wow, 62 likes with 58 people here. You guys are just amazing. I feel for the people that have been touched by these horrors. And I hope as humanity, we can find a way to find a solution, find a vaccine, and help everybody that is in need, and find a way to make this world a better place that we can all live on for our children and our children's children to have a future. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we are all going to have an end. And when that end comes, all that we leave is our legacy. And your legacy can be your children. It can be your name, a brand, a business. So at the end of the day, what legacy are you going to leave? This is your boy Rich, your midnight vampire, your late night vampire from Rich TV Live. Don't panic. I'm not trying to create fear. Hopefully, we can find ways to motivate each other and inspire each other to greatness. I wish you all the best. I love you. I appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a great evening. It's your boy Rich, and I'm out. Peace.